Here are 9 super simple, really easy strategies you can use to literally double your Black Friday sales over the next week. Hello and welcome to Full Body Yes Sales, the podcast where we show you how to make more sales than ever in your online business in a way that feels authentic, empowering, and feels completely aligned with how you want to do business. Let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to the Full Body Yes Sales podcast. So I want to share with you today some really simple and really actionable things that you can do to really see a tangible increase in your Black Friday sales, no matter how the sale is going for you so far. Whenever you're watching this, I'm posting this right before Black Friday. So as you're going through this Black Friday weekend, as you're going through this sale, as you're going through this launch, I want to share with you some really simple and tangible things that you can put into place, that you can implement literally as you watch this video to actually see a big difference in the sales that you're making. Some things which are really proven to work for myself from my own experience and from my clients as well, and from walking them through a lot of their Black Friday launches as well. I want to share some of the 9 top things essentially, which I think are just really powerful for seeing a big difference in your sales. Now, no matter when you're listening to this as well, whether you have a week left of Black Friday, whether you have a day left of Black Friday, this can be so powerful. Some of these things are the things that I implemented to literally double my Black Friday sales in the last 48 hours in my very first year of doing Black Friday ever. So again, they're so powerful. They're really simple, really tangible things that have often a very immediate return essentially when you're posting them and when you're doing these specific things. So I'm going to be sharing with you these specific 9 things that I think are just really helpful to do, and you should add in over this weekend to your to-do list to actually really see an increase in your Black Friday sales. So if you're doing any kind of Black Friday sale over the next week, or just if you sell anything in general, because these kind of just generally apply as well, then this is for you. So the first thing to do to double your Black Friday sales over the next week is to actually reach back out to everyone who has shown any interest because they've probably just forgotten. Just reach out and check back in with them, reconnect, see whether they're still thinking about the offer, let them know it's expiring in 48 hours, for example. This is so powerful because, especially again with Black Friday, this does also apply just generally in sales, but I think especially with Black Friday, it's a really busy time. We're seeing a lot of offers going out there. So a lot of times people, even though they've inquired with you and they've said, hey, I'm thinking about this certain offer, is this a good fit for insert my search and certain situation here? I think a lot of people will just sometimes forget, and people will just lose track, and they'll, their DMs will be just filled and they'll just forget about certain things. And especially with an offer that tends to have a shorter open cart period where, maybe it's a few days, maybe it's a week that we typically have the cart open for Black Friday, people can just forget, and they can, come to you a week later after the sale has actually finished and, be disappointed that they missed out then and potentially not purchase because they were, thinking that, oh, I'm going to get 40% off, and then the 40% off has now ended. So actually just reconnecting with people who have shown interest specifically, who had reached out, keeping a list of anyone who had inquired, who had said they were interested, who had asked a question, anything like that, and just following up with those people, especially as you're getting into those last few days, just so you can make sure that everyone is off the fence, whether that is a no or whether that's a yes, and they're not still in that undecided thinking about it stage. And just some evidence as well for the fact that people literally do forget. My very first Black Friday, I had someone who signed up on the second to last day, I believe it was, and she had dropped me a message just as she signed up saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much for speaking about it on your Instagram stories today, because I almost completely forgot. I had literally set a reminder in my phone last week that I wanted to purchase this Black Friday offer. She'd literally been planning for it. She set a reminder, but she just obviously hadn't said it properly, and she said, oh my gosh, I almost missed it. Like, thank you so much for speaking about it. So again, people are thinking about it. They just forget, they get busy, life is happening, there's a lot of things going on, especially over that weekend. So making sure you're actually reconnecting with people is so powerful for actually just handling any objections they have, finding out if it is a yes or it is a no, because that's perfectly valid and perfectly okay if it is a no, but just finding out either way and not having it, they're just sitting on the fence undecided, and then they end up missing the offer. The second thing which can really help you double your Black Friday sales, especially in the last few days, is to create an extended payment plan. So if you have an offer which is any kind of mid-ticket or above, actually creating a payment plan can be so powerful, because sometimes the price can just be the objection for people, especially if they're buying other things around Black Friday. Having a payment plan where they pay half this month, half next month, for example, can be really powerful. I did this with my very first Black Friday offer. I noticed that I think it was 2 or 3 people had said, not 100% sure with the price. And actually I then said, okay, would a payment plan make a difference? And it was a yes for all 3 of them. And I created a payment plan where it was split 50% now, 50% next month of of the sale. So still getting the full amount from them there. And those 3 people signed up then. And it was a really great fit because I had that payment plan essentially. So that got 3 extra sales in that would not have happened otherwise, and just had it over a payment plan instead of having it all pay in full. So that can be a really great option as well. And something we don't really think about is actually, okay, is the price potentially an objection? And can we create a payment plan that would make it then a really good fit for people who the price was an objection? A third thing you can do to double your Black Friday sales this weekend is to actually celebrate every single person who is joining. There is so much to be said for just momentum. Even if you've just had one person join, actually celebrating that person. For me, for example, one thing I love doing is I'll write names on a post-it note and I'll essentially just film a little clip and post it on Instagram stories of me just sticking that post-it note up on a wall and then the collection of names and then tag that person specifically. This is really helpful because number one, it shows that, oh, people are jumping in, people are interested. This is obviously a good offer. Maybe I want to consider it when I hadn't been considering it before. Very much that social proof there. And also it means that for those people who are getting tagged then who have already jumped into the offer, it gives them a fun opportunity to share that essentially to their own platforms and say, yeah, I jumped into this, super excited for this offer. And then you can get new people who hadn't even been considering, but because they already have that trust, because you have that mutual connection, essentially, they know that, Amy signed up and she purchased there and I trust her and I love her content. So obviously it must be good straight away then. You can get some extra sales coming through there. And I've absolutely had people sign up that way. So that can be really powerful, just celebrating everyone who jumps in, firstly for that social proof and for really that evidence that, people are interested, people are jumping in, and people are obviously liking this offer. It's obviously a really good offer, so I should be considering it potentially. But also just for if, you're tagging people and if people can then reshare and you're really making it easy for people to want to talk about your offer and want to share about it. Even those I'm in kind of graphics that you see as well, creating some of those potentially. But just something which gets people sharing about it is really, really powerful there. And the fourth thing for doubling your sales, which sounds like really simple, stupid advice almost, and I know most people will probably skip over this and go for a more fun one, but this is probably one of the biggest and best things that you could possibly do, is share the hook of your offer every single day, if not multiple times a day. Really reiterate that. So figure out what is the hook of your offer, i.e. what's the main thing which is getting people jumping in? What is hooking them in? What is the interest point? What is the key messaging statement of your offer? And share that over and over because, people are busy, people are paying attention to other things. So making sure that everyone is fully aware of this offer, of what it's going to do, of the transformation of this is so, so powerful there. So actually making sure you're sharing about this. And again, quantity just matters sometimes here. As I mentioned with that first example, that person, if she hadn't seen me speak about it for probably what was the 20th time at that point, I'd spoken about it so, so much. But if she hadn't seen me speak about it on that specific day, she would have potentially forgotten to sign up and she just would have completely forgotten about actually jumping in the first place. So making sure you're talking about it a lot, making sure you're just giving it a lot of time, making sure you're giving it a lot of stage time and just sharing about it over and over so people really are paying attention. Sometimes quantity is a little bit the key with Black Friday and just making sure you're really reiterating your message. So not needing to think about, what's a new thing I want to say? How can I phrase this in a new way? But actually just repeating the same thing is so powerful for people knowing, is this for me? Is this not for me? And actually just paying attention in the first place and remembering what you're even offering in the first place. The fifth thing that you can do to really double your sales in the next week for Black Friday is actually make sure that you are answering all of the questions that people have really publicly on your platforms. So if, for example, someone DMs you with a question, answer this publicly, because if one person's asking you the question, there's probably at least a handful of other people who are thinking that question or are wondering but haven't actually asked you that question. So make sure you're answering all of the questions which you are getting. Make sure you're, even the simple ones, even the ones that sound ridiculous of, do I get lifetime access to this course? Actually share that publicly and make sure people know that, because that can be very much a decision factor. And even as well, think about what are the simple questions which people could have potentially for this and making sure that we're addressing those ahead of time. So even if someone hasn't asked you the question of, do I have lifetime access for this? Or, what platform do I access this through? Or do I get instant access to this? Or, how long are these videos? Even those simple questions, which you think, are not going to be big decision factors, often the questions that people do have, especially around Black Friday, especially when we have simpler offers, which we typically do for Black Friday, then actually thinking about, what are the really simple questions which people do have, and can I make sure I'm answering those? Because the worst thing is if someone doesn't buy just because they had a question that they hadn't actually asked you because they maybe didn't feel they could, they maybe felt like it was a stupid question, etc. And they just don't jump in because of that question. So actually making sure you're answering and just addressing anything that you know could be a question as well, publicly on your platforms as well, making sure you're sharing that so everyone can see theirs. So it's really just overcoming any objections which people have and just making sure it's really clear, everyone understands exactly what this offer is, exactly what they're getting, and there's no hesitation, there's no question marks around this. That's what makes it an easy yes for someone. The sixth thing you can do for your Black Friday sales to double them over the next week is to actually personally invite someone who you know would be a really perfect fit for this offer. I think we all have that one person, in our mind sometimes with a launch who we think this would literally be perfect for you. We've had conversations, you've said you're struggling with this previous offer wasn't a good fit for you because of the price. Now we have this offer, which is a lower price point, etc. We know someone who this would be a really great fit for. And I think this is as well the time to really bring out that leads list, essentially. Bring out that list of people who have been a no before, have been a maybe, have been unsure, even especially as well if you're selling, let's say a course that you have previously sold and now it's 40% off. Anyone who's inquired about that course, I want you to make sure you are letting them know that this is now 40% off. So if if you're ever going to jump in, now is the time, essentially, if they've been previously considering it. So now is really the time as well to use these next few days kind of in the lead up to the end of Black Friday to think, okay, who are the potential leads for this offer? Who are the people who are on my leads list essentially, and who could be a really, really great fit for this offer? And then can we go and personally invite them? I say to them, hey, have you noticed I have this sale on right now? I think you would be a really perfect fit for this because of, and then insert personal reason here. That is such a powerful way to actually get those extra sales, because there will be people who had inquired previously about this exact offer and now it's 40% off, and that makes it a hell yes for them. That is something which pushes them over the edge to actually buying this offer. Or even there's people who had inquired about a previous offer who, that hadn't been a good fit for various reasons, but actually this offer fits all of those, reasons that they had, that actually works for everything that they were looking for, really. And that it's actually going to be something which is probably a better fit for them. So actually letting those people know, and not just hoping that, because I'm emailing my list, because I'm posting on social media about this, oh yeah, I'm sure they will have seen about this, making sure that they actually do see about it, making sure that they're not missing this, because again, it's a noisy, busy time, and just personally taking a second to reach out to those people can be so powerful. And I think a lot of people appreciate this. This is where the personal side comes in, of course. That's what people really appreciate, is someone going out of their way to say, hey, I'm doing this offer and I thought of you because I know a few months ago you'd inquired about this course, but you weren't 100% sure. Now it's 40% off. So I wanted to reach out specifically to you and say, hey, would you be interested in this, essentially? I think a lot of people appreciate that as well, and just taking that extra second to think of them and just going that extra mile, essentially, and just adding that extra personalization. So don't be afraid to make a leads list. Just think who could be a really good fit for this offer based on previous conversations I've already had with people. So I know for a fact they're struggling with this. I know for a fact they're looking for this. This offer didn't work because of this reason, etc. Or they were inquiring about this specific offer previously when I've launched it and it's been a higher price point and didn't have this really big discount. Who could be a really good fit that we could actually reach out to and utilize these last few days to actually personally invite some people. The seventh thing you can do to double your Black Friday sales over the next week is make sure you're giving them a reason to buy now, specifically. And that doesn't just come down to, I have 40% off. That comes down to, I'm letting them know this 40% off is expiring on this specific date at this specific time. This is where it can be so powerful, utilizing countdowns and actually fully letting them know, especially in that last 48 hours, there's 48 hours to go, there's 24 hours to go, there's 12 hours to go, there's only a few hours to go. Actually letting them know and really going almost over the top with making sure that everyone knows that this countdown is expiring and then this price is doubling, for example. Actually making sure that they know that, because a lot of people will just buy last minute, and it's really easy for people to just miss that last minute. I've done that before, and you probably have as well, where you've been thinking about purchasing something when it's been on offer. You've seen then that the price, has doubled because you missed the sale, it ended last night. So you then think, okay, wasn't meant to be. I'll just jump in next time, and then don't end up buying that thing. Versus if you had actually been made aware in those last 6 hours, in those last 12 hours, in those last 24 hours that this offer was going to be ending, you probably would have actually jumped in. You probably would have said, oh, okay, quickly, I need to make sure I don't miss this because I do want to jump into this. So actually making sure that you're fully letting people know that this offer is going to be expiring, give them a reason to jump in now specifically, is what's going to get them actually signing up now versus signing up next time and just saying, oh, well, wait till next time. and potentially not even signing up next time because they've then by that time moved on, found another solution, etc. Now, another way that you can really double your Black Friday sales as well is actually have a little quiz style of a "this is for you if," and I really like doing this. I think this is such a nice way to help people almost self-identify themselves of, okay, yeah, actually I should jump into this because this sounds perfect for me. Actually putting out essentially a quiz where it's saying, okay, if, for example, with me as a business coach, if I was working with people who are, struggling with a certain area of sales, let's say, and I was to do a quiz and say, okay, how do you feel about sales? Option A is it feels like a full body yes. Option B is, it's pretty good most of the time, but I still get kind of scared and outside of my comfort zone. It feels a bit nervous for me. C is, yeah, I kind of don't like selling and I'll do it every so often, but I'll kind of avoid it some of the time. And option D is, I hate selling, don't like it at all. I completely avoid it and just wait for my clients to come to me essentially and just hope that they'll sign up. If I was to do that and then end that quiz with, okay, if you got mostly A's, you're good. You don't need this program at all. Here's another program that could be good for you. If you got B, okay, this would be really good for you because it would help you to improve your sales skills, etc. D, you absolutely need this, you get the point. But essentially having some kind of quiz like that, and you can write this out as an email to your email list. You can put this on Instagram stories with the polls that people can actually interact with as well, which is super exciting to, actually see where people are at as well. But I think this can be so powerful for not just telling people you need this, but actually helping them see for themselves, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. Okay, wow, I do actually need this then. This would be really helpful. It's just really helpful for not just being told, because I think it hits on a whole other level in terms of actually people being told you need this and this would be really helpful for you versus you just saying, yeah, which one of these are you? Okay, if you said this, then this would be really helpful for you. And they're really just self-identifying themselves there, which means that they are really making the decision on, yeah, I do have this problem. Yeah, I do need this extra support. So they're really the ones deciding that, yeah, actually this could be a really good offer for me, which just really empowers them differently and just helps them to, move differently and actually much more likely to make a decision to jump into the offer in the first place. And the final thing I want to share with you in this video for doubling your Black Friday offers, and probably one of the ones that can have the biggest impact, is actually adding an upsell and a downsell to your offer. So downsell in terms of if people don't actually end up purchasing, if they, for example, clicked the link but didn't end up signing up, or if they'd inquired but didn't end up signing up, what's a downsell? What's something which is a cheaper version, essentially, a lower cost offer which they can jump into, which can give them a little bit of a transformation. It might be a masterclass recording, something along those lines. And also on the flip side, what is an upsell which you can offer essentially, which can give them an even better result, even better transformation after they finish that current offer. And this is one of the best things you can possibly do with Black Friday, is not just think about it in terms of the sales you're getting on that weekend, but in terms of really almost lead generation for your higher ticket offer, for your main offer, and really thinking about, okay, what is a nice upsell I can offer here? What's a really nice incentive for jumping into my one-to-one program, for example, that would make it a no-brainer for people, that would make people want to jump into this program and make it a really easy yes for people to sign up to work one-to-one with me after this. So actually offering that upsell can lead to, 80% extra revenue for your Black Friday, actually just from that upsell, because all you need is a few people jumping into this to have a really, really big month. For example, with my first Black Friday, I think the original sale just from that Black Friday weekend was around £1,200, and then the upsells was around £19,000. So you can see the difference there that it can really make in terms of your overall Black Friday plan and strategies, having an upsell option. So actually create an option, think about intentionally, okay, what would be a really nice incentive for people? What is something I can put together exclusively for these people that makes it a really no-brainer to continue working with me and to jump into this higher ticket package as well? So those are 9 pretty simple ways that you can literally double your Black Friday sales and beyond, to be honest, with these if you're implementing all 9. So definitely let me know which you're going to be implementing, and give this video a like if you found this helpful. Make sure as well you check out, I'm going to be putting my Black Friday offers specifically in the link in the description. It's a secret menu style, so you have to opt in if you want to even see what my Black Friday offers are going to be. So if you're curious, if you're wondering what I have for sale this Black Friday, because I have 3 different options, then check out the link in the description and you can see the full secret menu. Just input your email and it will be sent straight to you. Thank you so much for watching. Again, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the Full Body Sales podcast. New episodes dropping every single Monday, and I will see you in the next one.